Now it's time to talk about our last project for today. And this has to be Tyler the Creator's Chromacopia. Now, I talked to Tyler. I was like, yo, we shoot the episodes on Mondays. He's like, man, I'm going to drop it Monday morning. I'm like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
You're not giving us enough time to sit with this. Now we got to come out with our first impressions. We
Hmm.
got to do multiple listens in one day. B, we've had an extensive history with Tyler the Creator,
Yes.
following him since the blog era, Bastard Goblin, all that,
Hmm.
with his group Odd Future,
Hmm.
to his newfound, I guess, resurgence that he had in his career after Cherry Bomb with Flower Boy, Igor, Call Me If You Get Lost, and now Chromacopia. B. This isn't really the full out album review, even though we
Hmm.
probably could make it if we wanted to.
Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts on your first listen, B?
My initial thoughts when I went into this album, my initial thoughts was that this is a very vulnerable, very personal album from Tyler Creator,
Mm.
and I stepped away learning something new about him. What about you?
Mm. Same. When I first heard the album, because everybody, oh, this is Jesus.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, this is Cherry Bomb too. And I'm like, hold your horses.
Hmm.
Hold your horses. I like the way he's been marketing the album. And to me, I agree with your sentiments. I feel like this is a very vulnerable, and I feel like this was the most personal album that we gotten from Tyler the Creator
Hmm.
since Wolf. To me,
Hmm.
this doesn't feel like a character, even though he could pin this on a character later on. To me, this felt way too personal for it to be just a character.
Yeah.
Now, I remember in the past episode, I'm pretty sure I compared this to probably being something like Goodnight Pun Pun,
Hmm.
where he wears a mask and we see the mask, but everybody else just sees him.
Hmm.
And I feel like I was kind of right with my, I guess, prediction to a
Hmm.
degree, because just like a Goodnight Pun Pun, it's a coming of age story somewhat of a kid turning into an adult, which Tyler kind of details on here, from not being famous to
Hmm.
being famous, and to even having more adult like issues like, oh, do I want to have a child or
Hmm.
not? Was my dad was in my life, or the absence of my father in my life, his relationship with his mother, him dating women, which a lot of people were like, oh, is he straight? Is he gay from
Hmm.
Igor? He touches on a lot of those things right there. My first impression, like just like yours, I was like, this was very, I was personal, but I want to use a different word. I guess
Hmm.
intimate. Like I'm like, I feel like I got to know Tyler.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I feel like we don't get that many instances of that from his albums as a full body of work.
So another thing I thought about, I thought this was the end of the characters. This felt like the end. To take
Mm.
the mask off, it just felt like he made this other character. Chromacopia is not a character to me, and I just felt like he knows, like, you go through his whole history, and he has, like you said, the wolf being Haley, being Igor, the flower boy. Is always these different eras of him, but it seems like a
Mm.
character. Like, is this really, is he because he's being vague. You don't know if he's trolling, you don't
Mm.
know none of this. But this right here, you could tell he's talking about himself. Like, this is him. And then actually speaking on the song, Take the Mask Off, in that last verse, him speaking about himself, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
yo, this is him being like, this is how I feel. You know what I mean? Even though,
Mm-hmm.
like, sometimes it's been situations where in interviews he talked about not wanting to be a kid, feeling not wanting any kids, being selfish, being so in love into music, you know, knowing if he could. He spoke on being like, could I be in love with somebody? Because he always
Mm-hmm.
fall like another chick and be on to, like, all right, I lead her on to be like, you don't need to be with me. Like, experience other things because I experience other people. You know what I'm saying? I don't want you to be stuck with me. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think he still feel like he needs to grow up, seeing his friends become fathers and mothers and, married and stuff like that. And he's like, all I got is a new a Ferrari.
Yeah, it reminded me of 808s or Heartbreak.
Oh yeah,
The
show me a picture of
Welcome
my
to Heartbreak.
kids. Welcome to heart. Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Show him a picture of
my
my
friends.
bins,
And
something like
and
that.
that part of Kanye life, he had no kids as well. Kanye actually had kids later in his life, in his 30s.
Yeah.
So it's similar, especially with artists that's being so in tune with their work, and how the parallels with Tyler and Kanye is pretty, like, kind of the same. Like, you see
Mm-hmm.
how Kanye did with his albums, and look how Tyler's doing. I feel like Tyler's later half, not later because he's still young, but the second half of his career, between, with Kanye's, I don't know what part of his career he's in now, what this phase is,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know. I really, 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 my first, thoughts on this project is I think it's his, like I said, most vulnerable, most personable album, man. And I really, really enjoyed it, V.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. Now I know some people, Tyler the Creator's best album.
Yeah,
Yada yada, all this hype. Guys, calm down. It
let's get
has
it.
not been out for 24 hours
Yeah,
yet. You're going off your recency bias. Let's calm down a
yeah.
bit.
I would say when it comes to like the songs where he's more, vulnerable, introspective, it's his like best written. Like,
Hmm.
what's the one with him going, "Hey Jane"? Like,
Hey Jane,
yeah,
that's the name of
that's
it.
a really good writ. Like that song
That's the
is.
one where he met the girl at the bar. I mean,
That's
not
the
the
two
bar, but
different.
he met the girl somewhere, and then he took her, and
Hey,
then he took her to his crib or
no,
whatever.
"Hey Jane" is her telling him that she's pregnant, and he's talking about how his perspective on it because it's right after. My bad, dang, it's right after Darling I.
Oh, I thought this. So this isn't the one where he took the girl. He was like, "Oh, we're gonna go to my crib for a hot second. We gave each other massages or whatever." That's not
Oh,
that one.
nah, that's
No, I think that's that one too, where you was talking about carry a baby, but I gotta give him the man's last name or something like that, right?
yeah, that was on Darling
I
I.
think it's still part of the same song.
Oh,
No, no, not Darling I. Hey Jane.
yeah, "Hey Jane." Hold on, let me see.
Darling I was the one with Tizo Touchdown. Which how'd you feel about the features? I thought the features was
You know
well
he used
placed.
everybody as instruments, bro. That's Tyler.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? He killed it.
How you feel about the Glorilla, Sexy Red, and Lil Wayne song?
I actually
Sticky.
I actually enjoyed it because he didn't use them a lot. It was pretty quick and fast. You know what I'm saying? How they was on
Hmm.
there, especially Glorilla, Sexy Red, and Lil Wayne. I wanted more of Lil Wayne. I wanted more of Wayne because
Hmm.
it felt like he was just getting his bag. I loved how he sounded on
Uh
there.
huh.
And I was like, dang, I
Yeah,
wanted more Wayne.
I like Glorilla and Sexy Red. I
Yeah.
didn't expect them to be on a Tyler the Creator project.
Yeah.
I never in a million years would I've expected them to be a feature on here.
Mm-hmm.
But also one feature that I'm pretty sure definitely did her thing on here. Dochi,
Doechii had a really good feature on
phenomenal
here.
feature,
Really good feature.
phenomenal feature.
Schoolboy
Yeah,
Q feature was
which
good
I
too.
know she said this. Oh yeah, which one was that one on?
He
That
was
was
on
on
They Thought I Was Dead.
Thought I Was Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that song. He had like two braggadocious songs on here.
Mm-hmm.
Thought I Was Dead and Ratata.
Yeah,
Oh, those gave
Ratata.
me those old school. What's the song where he's bouncing on the butt cheek on the
Oh,
music
like,
video?
oh, I can't think of.
Yeah, it
Yeah, I
kind
know
of
what you're
reminds
talking
me
about.
of that.
Yeah.
But to me, when it comes to the sound B, I feel like this is like a mixture and hodgepodge of some of the sounds that he's been playing with since a good amount of his career to a degree.
You're right. I feel that a lot of people now have changed their sentiments of what they thought this album was going to be. They was like, "Oh, he's going with a different sound," but he to me, well, to most people I've been seeing that he mixed all the sounds together pretty much. Musically,
Mm.
sonically, this is a familiar album. You know what I'm saying? But
Very familiar to Igor if you just heard it.
this production is amazing.
Hmm.
Because you have a little Igor in here, you got a little Flower Boy,
Hmm.
you got a little bit of Call Me When You Get Lost. It's just all in the
Hmm.
one. And I feel like it was a good mesh. Man, Tyler, bro,
Tyler did stay on
could
this
he miss,
top
bro?
10 of the year contender B.
Bro, it could be, man. I have my three listens today, but when it comes to albums like this, I kind of sit with like my first listen was more lyrics, my second listen more lyrics, third. I was
Hmm.
kind of trying to see what are the kinks, what did I didn't like, what songs I don't really
Hmm.
care for. I still need to probably my fourth listen. I can like tone it down, but so far, bro, I love everything on here. It's nothing on here that I'm like, I don't like this. I'm gonna skip this. I haven't hit that point
Hmm.
yet. Maybe I need a little more listens, but nothing. I like to listen to this as full, just because also how his mom narrates each song, pretty much how what she says to him,
Oh yeah, it
and
kind of reminds me of Igor when he used to have Jared Carmichael
oh yeah, there
intro
you
and
go.
outro some of the songs in between.
That's what I'm saying. He put like all of his albums into one, and then also another thing. I know this is our first thoughts, but it's so much I was thinking. I probably could put this in the freaking review, but I don't know. It's just my first thoughts. I was thinking about the chapter of his father. Like that part was crazy to me when his mom
Which
was.
one? The one where it was like left him or
It's
whatever?
called Like Him,
No, like him, not left him,
and
like
when
him.
his
Right.
mom was just like at the end of it saying like he wanted to be in your life, like he wanted this, and
Hmm.
I lied pretty much, and I was just thinking like, bro, if some incels see this, bro, they on your butt, they on Tyler mom butt.
Not a red pill community.
I'm saying, but no, but I also was thinking like maybe this was right, B. Maybe she knew she was creating a villain. He needed that motivation. I tell my son all the time, I'm gonna leave him. I need him big. I need to become the best rapper ever, bro. He need that motivation. Like my dad wasn't
Hey,
there.
become the best soccer player or something.
Yeah, man. Tyler mom knew what she was doing. She was like, I'm only telling you this because I know it's gonna work for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's just
Mm-hmm.
like she just tells him, please forgive me, but it by his dad don't reap none of the benefits.
Facts. Facts.
But no, that was
That
just
boy is like, my son is one of the greatest rappers of all time, probably,
one hundred
and I can't
percent.
get a single dime.
But no, I was just thinking about that chapter being closed and like what we know Tyler for. Always talking about his relationship, well, his non-relationship with his father, and now knowing this side of like what held him back was his mom, which she was narrating, don't lie, be honest, blase blah. And
Mm-hmm.
one of the biggest lies she told him was that hurt him the most because this he had daddy issues. This is thing
Mm-hmm.
that we knew Tyler from, and
Mm-hmm.
that just it hit me B when I heard that, and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Because this without that, will we got this guy? Will we got Tyler without his mom?
Well, no,
That's
but
I
I
know
get where you're going.
I know I'm just saying it's just so crazy that he could have had that relationship, but the woman that he loves and is telling him all these things because he said this album is pretty much everything his mom was telling him growing up. Like, don't let them block your shine. Don't all this stuff he was
Mm-hmm.
saying. Like, yo, I just thought about everything my mom used to tell me, and as I got older, I'm like, dang, she was right, and that's why she's a big focal point of this album. Like, it's his
Mm-hmm.
mom. It's things that his mom says. It's pretty much everything like black moms will say to you. Like, I love his mom
Mm-hmm.
energy though. She's hilarious. I don't want to have to whoop a mother. You know what I'm saying? You better watch these accounts too. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, I mean, overall, I enjoyed the story that was told on this album. Like when I did my 3 listens, first listen is the sonics.
mm-hmm,
How's it sound? Is he rapping on beat? How's the
mm-hmm,
production? Second, I'm focusing more so on the lyrics. I know what it's going to sound like now, so that's not going to surprise me.
mm-hmm.
What are you actually saying on here? And third is trying to find the connecting theme throughout everything on
Yeah,
here. And overall, usually I do 3 listens, but this album to me, it's deserving of more than three
yeah,
listens. Like this dang near could be the album review right here if we
yeah.
really wanted to be, because we already talking so much about it in depth, way
Mm-hmm,
more than the first thoughts or first impressions in
mm-hmm.
general. But man, overall, this is a top 10 album of the year contender for me. I like I can't even say the world that he said. It's his world. It's
Mm-hmm.
his life.
Yeah, it
I
is.
liked what he said on this album. I like the tone that he said with the first song. A lot of people saying that he broke his track 10 tradition of putting two
Mm-hmm,
songs together, which he says, I think at the beginning, like F traditions or something like
mm-hmm.
that. Yeah. This album coming out 14 minutes. I mean, 14 songs, 53 minutes.
Yeah.
Really great
You like
project.
Gambino on here,
Tyler,
Pete? You heard
where was
Gambino?
he at?
He was singing on
I thought he was singing on one of these songs, but when I was looking at the lyrics, it didn't credit him.
yeah, he was
So I was like,
singing.
okay, maybe I was just tripping.
Yeah, he was singing on
I
here
didn't
too.
catch Tizo Touchdown when I first heard him,
Oh no,
though.
I
I
knew that
will
was
say that.
Tizo. I say, oh, that's Tizo right there.
No, I didn't catch that. I didn't catch that. Hey, he always sounds better on other people's stuff than his own.
All right,
So,
whatever. What you finna say?
yeah, but you got any closing thoughts with Tyler and his fourth album and his 4 album run?
Man, I want to say, Tyler, man, you haven't seemed to amaze me at all, bro. Like, I like to think I was thinking like, what could he do after this? And I'm like, do he have pressure? And I start thinking like, I don't think he has pressure. I think he'd just be like, I'm gonna do me. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I
Mm,
never look at him, man, like, dang, how he's gonna outdo himself.
one up himself.
How you gonna one up it? Because I feel like Tyler, he built his career in the way of like, I have so much growth that I can. It's so much things that it's like he go with his life. Like as he getting older, it's more things he can touch upon. I don't know. I don't know. I think it's perfect how he's laying out his life, especially how he started in
Mm,
rap and being so immature, and then we watching him grow, and then we already know musically, this dude's he just loves music, like music
mm,
theory. Like he goes in depth into this stuff, and I love watching his interviews. And when if it used to be he used to be on this show, not a show, it was like a series. I know I'm ranting, but he'd go into detail on like who used these chords. Like this dude actually knows like so many musicians. It's kind of like I'll be like, dang, like he better than me. Like he knows so much
mm.
stuff, bro. So I don't know what he's gonna do next. You know what I'm saying? I think his next project probably will be something that's more experimental when it comes to like it's a conceptual album, but it's not probably personal. It's probably like, I'm finna do something different. I feel like he does that. It's like, call me when you get lost. I want to rap. I'm a rap.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's gonna do something different. Maybe I want to sing more, like he did on Igor. I don't know. We gonna see. But overall, keep doing your thing.
Yeah, for me, when it comes to Tyler, I think there's no pressure on him because he could just create another character. He could just create another world. He ain't got to stay in this lane. He ain't got to make a sequel to this. Like, he could venture off and do something different because he's been doing that for most of his career now. He's been playing different characters, and now that the mask is off, we've gotten the personal album from Tyler, and the way that he's been promoting this one as well, to me it seems very personal for him because he's like, don't go into this with no expectations. F what people are saying online. Sit down. You just need to listen to the music. Don't do nothing else. He was very intent on how we heard this and how we perceive this music right here. So I'm very interested to see where Tyler does go from here. But yeah, I got some more listens I got to get to with this album.
Tomorrow I will
But
be
yeah,
in.
oh yeah, I will be jamming this album right here. But yeah, that is about it for our review for CHROMAKOPIA.
Man, shout out to Beyond Beats and Culture.